talk about some fucking pedal boards. So for a while now, I've been wanting to put together a new pedal board. I did a lot of looking into different pedal boards. Growing up, I always used the big double rack mount pod. I was a kid. I got rid of that, and then I would just buy loose pedals like this Dark Manor from TC Electronics, which is actually a really good sounding pedal for like 30 bucks. I would highly recommend it. I don't use it as distortion. I use it more as like an overdrive because the distortion tone isn't that thick. But yeah, so I decided to finally put it all together as one. I did all that research online looking at different pedal boards. I eventually came to the conclusion that I'm just going to make my own. So what I did was I bought a piece of plywood. Then I bought a 1x2. And first I connected the 1x2 to the plywood and tried to give it, that little curve down. Then my next step was actually, I kind of did it out of order, where I put the carpet on first, which worked out good. I used a spray glue. I went a little crazy with the glue to keep some of these edges down, as you can see going around. The next thing I did was cut the hole. So I went and bought a computer cap from like a computer desk. I know it looks terrible. I didn't have a saw. I actually drilled the entire thing out. On this side you can see it's really flush and looks pretty nice. The next thing I actually did was I tried to tough down. I don't know if it's kind of hard to see, but around the carpet to keep it a little more secure. I don't want it unfolding. I want to keep it looking as nice as possible. I also added on these little feet. I just found in the little feet department at Walmart. After I did the feet, I decided to add some handles. I started thinking about how hard it was going to be to pick this thing up with the length, because it is about 36 inches long, so it's a little bit longer than the larger pedal boards. I just wanted to have the extra space. So I added on these handles. I just found some old school door handles at the hardware store. They're like $3 a piece. Just drilled out the holes, put the screws in, and now easy to lift. So the next thing I did was buy some iron-on patches from Amazon. Came up with This Is Mayhem to put on the front of my board, and it's TIM. So now you get the little subliminal. So as you can see, the pedal board came out pretty good. I already showed you guys the Dark Matter TC Electronics pedal. I'm going to be putting this on there actually, even though it's just a cheap $30 pedal. I'm telling you, if for an old school overdrive, like a 60s overdrive tone, this Dark Matter pedal does a great job. I'm also going to be running a pedal tuner. These are really nice tuners, and I got it on a sale for like 70 bucks the other day, so I had to pick it up. I got pedal power. It runs the 9 volts at whatever the milliamps that you got to run them at, and also the 12 and 18 DC. It also got a USB on the front, which I thought was kind of cool. I don't know if it's going to be able to charge my phone, or if my phone's going to create any outside noise, but if you do know, let me know down in the comments below. So I'm going to be running this pedal power to do all of the power for all the pedals on the board, so I don't have to run a bunch of supplies. Also going to be putting my Marshall foot switch on the board. Now I'm probably not going to be using the dirty tone, but on this cheap Marshall amp, I don't really want to call it a cheap Marshall amp because it's really not cheap. I bought it because the sound is loud enough to keep up with the drum set, because it does run two 12s at, I believe it's 100 watts if I'm not mistaken. But I don't like the distortion sound. I need a great sounding distortion. You see how I said distortion? So what I ended up buying, and I'm just waiting for it to come in, is the EVH 5150 pedal from MXR, which I'm really excited about. I can't wait for it to come in. I know it's crazy. I'm going to be using an overdrive pedal as my distortion and a distortion pedal as my overdrive. But I'm telling you, if you don't know about the 5150 pedal yet, just type in MXR EVH 5150 heavy metal and see what comes up. You can hear some of the nastiest guitar tones, just crunch, solid fucking mayhem. I love it. And so I'm going to be running that overdrive as my main distortion pedal. I also got a TC Electronics, the Spark Booster coming in. Makes it a little bit easier when you hit solos and stuff to not have to depend on a sound guy as much to bring your volume out. So I will be also using one of those. I also bought this Digitech. Now I know it's a, what would you call it, effects processor where there's a lot on here. I was watching some folks online though actually using it as a EQ and volume in their pedalboard setup, and I thought about taking it a step farther. So you could save your first bank as your EQ and volume. So EQ out the guitar, make it sound the way you want, because it's always going to be on, but you got a volume control then with the pedal. And then after that, I was going to make number two get the same tone, so the same EQ, and then run it as a wah, so then I could just switch between the first bank and the second bank and have a wah and a volume pedal when I'm not using the wah, so it doesn't make that, you know, noise when the wah turns on. I've never done it like this. I'm going to give it a try. If I don't like it, I'm going to probably just get rid of this thing or give it to one of my kids. Let them try it out, and just go ahead and buy one of the crybabies and probably a Digitech whammy. Or maybe even a volume pedal, I don't know yet. I just like music equipment, and if it was up to me, I would just buy everything. But unfortunately, I think she would kill me if I did that. Well, that's the plans for the pedal board so far. Make sure to keep checking out for part 2 of this video, where when I get that 5150 pedal and I start putting everything together. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure to check out more Inside the Mind of Mac Effin' Money right here on CMSX Media. Peace.